Hey everybody, meteorologist Mike Slifer here in the First Alert Forecast Center. We had a little technical difficulty there, but that has since been resolved. We are talking about some light snow in parts of Connecticut right now. Wanted to hop here on our live stream, WFSB Plus, give you the latest, the lowdown, let you know what's happening across Connecticut and the possible impact to you. So let's start things off with a quick check of First Alert Live Radar. Actually, this will probably be longer than just a quick check of First Alert Live Radar. We'll begin with the statewide perspective. This is a loop over the last 30 minutes, so you can actually see, how things have been trending here and get an idea of how these snow showers are moving back into the state as we speak. So if we take a little gander here, zoom in on First Alert Live Radar with First Alert Live Radar, we can actually see where some of these deeper shades of blue are moving into Litchfield County right now. So these snow showers are scattered to widespread. So snowing on and off right now where Route 7 and 44 intersect Canaan, North Canaan. We also have some snow that's moving through parts of Salisbury, Lakeville, Norfolk, and basically hugging the Massachusetts border. As you head south, much lighter snow showers through Goshen into Warren, Litchfield, Bantam, and Morris. So 202 not quite as impacted here. Route 8 at this point in time not really quite as impacted either. But we, of course, will continue to monitor the progression of some of these snow showers. If we take a look at what's happening a little bit farther to the east as we head into Hartford County, staying along the Massachusetts border at this point in time. We do have some light snow in parts of Heartland through Granby, Southwick, Massachusetts into North Granby there, throughout Suffield into Enfield, crossing the Connecticut River 91 with lighter snow in Somers, Stafford, Union right now. And this is struggling to reach northeastern Connecticut for the time being, but we do expect that to change. If we head back to the Connecticut view, so you can get an idea of how things are looking, from the Connecticut-centric angle, and zoom out just a little bit, you can actually see sort of the progression of some of these snow showers into the lower Hudson Valley. So that's what we're tracking here. We have some snow showers that are moving along the Mass Pike, and see how big some of the breaks are in between these snow showers. So it'll snow and then it'll wind down and then another snow shower could roll through. This is not going to be a steady snow, and that's part of the reason why we aren't expecting any blockbuster total, certainly not a blockbuster storm by any means. In fact, perhaps the bigger story beyond the snow is going to be the potential for a bit of an icy mix to develop as the night goes on, maybe a bit of freezing drizzle. We could see a bit of an icy glaze develop. So not only are we talking about maybe a little bit of snow, but also keeping a close eye on that chance for a bit of an icy glaze. Let's take you now to the satellite and radar loop over the last 6 hours. We had those first snow showers pivot through between about 4 and 6 o'clock this evening. And as we mentioned, we would see a lull. That has certainly come to fruition. And now as we get past 8 o'clock here, especially approaching 8:30, 8:28 as we speak, we're watching some of those showers try to work their way back into Connecticut, and we'll see the next round of snow showers get ready to develop and blow on through. If we take a look at a more zoomed out view, this is certainly not all that impressive. And something that we've been talking about recently over the last several days as we've been tracking this is how there will be a greater risk of maybe some more impactful snow to our north. And that's certainly what we see unfolding here, where the snow has been a bit steadier in parts of Vermont, New Hampshire, into even northern Massachusetts, so northern sections of the Pioneer Valley into the Worcester Hills, maybe a bit more of an impact from the snow than what we're actually expecting here in Connecticut. And we can see some of that transition over to a bit of mix or even plain rain on the southwestern extent of this storm along the New York and Pennsylvania border, close to, say, the Binghamton area right now. So that is going to be just something that we'll watch for, as we do expect a transition over to mix or even just plain cold rain in parts of Connecticut. We'll take you live to our iCam view here in Torrington. We don't see any flakes flying right now. That could certainly change. We do expect this round of snow showers to actually reach the ground. The first round that moved through earlier in the afternoon, the air was just a bit too dry to support those flakes reaching the ground at first. So a lot of those evaporated before they actually made it to the ground, to the Earth's surface. We'll take you next to our iCam view here in Hartford as we look live over what is a rather frozen Connecticut River at the Bulkley Bridge, 31 degrees, wind out of the south at 6 miles per hour. With the increased cloudiness and that southerly wind, we do expect some interesting things to happen to the temperature, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in depth in just a moment. Next up, our ICAM view here in New Haven, 30 degrees, wind out of the south-southeast at 5 miles per hour. No snow to speak of yet, and as we head to southeastern Connecticut, we could still see some remnant snow from Winter Storm Benjamin on the boardwalk here by the Mystic River, but otherwise our ICAM view here in Mystic does not really show much happening at this moment in time. And that's what we expected, really, that the greatest chance for snow showers would be after 9 o'clock tonight, through about 11 o'clock, maybe midnight, and then after that, things quickly would be winding down, and beyond that, not much of an impact at all. There could be some lingering slick spots out there tomorrow morning, but we're not really looking at too much of an issue as you step out the door for your Wednesday. Across the state right now, we're in the upper 20s and lower 30s. This is about where we expected to be, but check out what's going to happen here over the next few hours, especially along the shoreline. The temperature is forecast to rise above freezing, so we'll see temps in maybe the mid-30s by 11 o'clock tonight. Now, inland, that won't be the case. We still see that rise, but we're still below freezing. Temps in the lower 30s will support rain, snow, or a mix of some freezing rain, maybe a little bit of sleet, maybe a little bit of freezing drizzle mixed in. So while the shoreline sees a plain cold rain develop, it's inland Connecticut that will have maybe a greater impact from some of these snow showers as they move on in. First Alert Futurecast shows those snow showers. Here we are, 9 o'clock, looking pretty similar to what we see on radar right now. So what we're expecting is to see those snow showers become a bit more widespread across the state as we move into the 9:30 to 10:30 time frame. And by 11 o'clock tonight, when you join Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon tonight at 11, you'll see that maybe we'll be tracking a flip over to a bit of an icy mix in parts of the state, that pink shading showing up. And also perhaps just talking plain rain in the southeastern part of the state, right along the immediate shoreline. So from an impact perspective, certainly some snow could make things a bit slick, and then maybe we have a bit of an icy glaze on top of it. By 2 o'clock in the morning, this is pretty much done and over with. A very short duration event, and then this will all move on out as we approach dawn tomorrow. A little bit of sunshine on tap early tomorrow. Breezy tomorrow. High temperatures tomorrow could be on either side of 40 degrees. So we'll likely see some melting take place. And that's nice. It'll help to clean things up a little bit more as we continue to clean up after Benjamin. So by the time all is said and done tonight, maybe a coating to 2 inches of snow. That'll favor the northeastern part of the state, the quiet corner. After that coating to 2 inches of snow, we're thinking freezing drizzle. Amounts will be lower. Snowfall amounts will be lower the farther south you go, especially as we approach the shoreline. If you look closely there from about Old Saybrook and points east, we don't have any kind of shading because that's where we expect this to mostly just be plain old rain. And again, freezing drizzle will have a greater impact on untreated surfaces. So figure your driveway, your sidewalk, things like that. Slick underfoot tomorrow, especially as you're stepping out the door tomorrow morning or late tomorrow, or rather late tonight. But by the time we reach the morning commute tomorrow, this will all be done. Roads will be improving. Not only will roads be improving, but with temperatures tomorrow in the upper 30s and lower 40s, this will be a distant memory as early as about 10 in the morning. So as we go through the day tomorrow, we will see quick improvement. Anything that's still slick, done, melted. We're looking good. So we do think that this is going to be really just focused mostly on what we're dealing with right now. Before we wind this down, we'll bring you one other check of First Alert Live radar here, showing again where maybe some of that, relatively speaking, heavier snow is trying to move through, favoring parts of the Hudson Valley, favoring parts of northwestern Connecticut. This might be a slightly better radar view of what we're looking at here. So this is the radar out of Albany that we just switched to. So if we zoom in, it's a rather wide zoom. So it's basically the quadrant here where we're looking at northwestern Connecticut, Litchfield County, into the Berkshires, parts of the Hudson Valley along I-87 from Poughkeepsie past Saugerties there and closer to the Capital District. So those shades of purple that you see indicating perhaps briefly heavy snow mixed in with some of these snow showers as they pass on through. We'll be watching those very closely as they move into Connecticut. If we actually pause the loop here what we can do is track those specifically. So we'll pause the loop. These are tools that we use more frequently in severe weather season, but they're actually pretty pertinent right now too. So if we draw a line along this leading edge here where the snow is just a little bit heavier, these are moving at a pretty good pace. So this does not actually put these into Connecticut until a little bit later. If we bring out the time here, you start to see Sharon 904, Salisbury 904, Canaan 906. So we're not looking at these snow showers reaching our state for another 30 minutes, give or take. And we will be streaming more about the weather at 9 o'clock tonight. So we'll have another update coming up for you in about 25 minutes. If you're in northwestern Connecticut, it is snowing right now. And we do expect things to be, again, a bit slick at times. We could pick up a coating to 2 inches, and these snow showers are expected to move into the state, overspreading Connecticut a little bit later on tonight. And then perhaps we end up with a period of some freezing drizzle, which could further complicate the situation as those untreated surfaces will become slick. One of the bright sides here, there's a lot of residual salt on roadways, so that will actually help to melt a lot of this snow. Not only that, but the temperature is not as cold as it's been the last times we've dealt with snow. We've had a lot of snow events this season where we had temperatures in the teens, that Arctic air in place. That is not the case right now. And high temperatures across the state today were near the freezing mark, even above in some locations. So that's going to help to mitigate some of that concern for things instantaneously freezing up too. And if temps do rise as expected, we could have parts of the state that aren't even below freezing as early as 11 o'clock tonight, which would certainly help with keeping road conditions in, pretty good shape. So we, of course, will be watching for you, and we'll have much more coming up in about 25 minutes at 9 o'clock with this. And you can always catch us on the Wax at 10 and Channel 3 tonight at 11. We'll see you again in 25 with another update.